Hi, I'm Christa Jacobson, headmistress of the BUDO RYU KAI, where we teach authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. In today's video, we're going to be talking about primitive fire-making skills of the ninja. We're also going to be talking about specific skills and drills that you can do to help hone your fire-making skills for your survival training. Now, before I begin, I always give a shout out to all of my new viewers. So if this is the first video that you guys have seen of me, my name is Christa Jacobson. I'm the headmistress of the BUDO RYU KAI, which means School of the Warrior Way. We teach koryu ninjutsu and koryu bujutsu, so the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. This organization does have other areas of focus, such as reality-based self-defense, weapons training and tactics, concealed carry, survival skills, martial arts theory, thought and philosophy, martial arts conditioning. If any of these topics interest you at all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell. I do post 2 to 3 videos every single week, so if you're interested in any of those topics, please subscribe, click the bell, and keep up with what we're doing. Now, with that being said, we're going to discuss real quick about some of the primitive fire-making skills that the ninja would have used in feudal Japan. Now, a lot of times people go back to example, the bow drill set, where they're rubbing sticks together to make fire. Although that would have been a skill set that the ninja may have had or did have, however, that would not have been their go-to. The ninja was known for lots of different fire skills at that time in history. They had various different fire tools that's mentioned in many different ninjutsu densho. And on top of that, they had various different techniques using the various Kaki or fire tools in feudal Japan. Now, some of the things that they would have carried, I'm going to go through with you guys. I've made multiple videos regarding Kajutsu, or the art of fire, from classical ninjutsu. I'll put some of the videos below in the video description. You guys can check those out. They'll also be in the pinned comment down below. You guys can check those out. Or you could just go to my playlist, and I have a whole bunch more that's obviously not going to be below, because I'm not going to list all the videos, but we have numerous fire skills or Kajutsu videos regarding classical ninjutsu. But there are 3 things that the historical ninja would have had when going on a mission that undoubtedly would have been used every time they leave their camp to go on a mission, to complete a mission, and to come back. Now, the 3 main tools that a ninja would have carried with them on the mission, right? The first and foremost would have been what's called an uchitake. Now, an uchitake means like striking bamboo, if you will, right? So it's a bamboo cylinder with holes in it, and it has a hemp cord wrapped around it with a kind of like a flint steel striker, if you will, on the back end of it. So you could strike this to create some sort of a spark, right? Now, this is so that you could put it on your sidearm, like your sword, your katana, your wakizashi, whatever you're carrying in. But this would just be held on your obi to the side as you're walking. Now, as you're walking, see those little holes in it? Those holes in it would transfer air through it. And inside the uchitake is what we see is a copper cylinder. Copper is a conductor, and it holds heat really well. And again, there's lots of holes in it. And some of these look differently, but the constructions of them all the same. And this has a top, and when you open the top up, there's a long rope or hemp. This one's not, because I've used it a ton, but there's hemp tied to it, right? And the rope would come all the way down, and it would just be slowly burning all the way up. So when you get to where you're gonna go, you would blow on it, and it would have an ember on it, and you would just light whatever you're carrying on fire. So it's like carrying an ember. It'd be like carrying a match, right? So this, and as they're walking, the air passes through it, and it keeps it kind of smoldering and keeps it kind of like carrying a coal, if you will. The second thing they would have carried on a mission was what's called a hogochi. Now, hogochi is a tinderbox, and the one I grabbed for this video is the wrong one. I should have grabbed the other one, but I was just trying to grab this, so I come out here and make a video for you guys. So the one I'm bringing out here is not the more traditional looking one, but nonetheless, follow me. It's a wooden box, and the wooden box on the inside would have a bunch of combustibles in it. And what they would do, let's say they had to sneak underneath like a castle or enemy stronghold or something they wanted to catch on fire, whether it was like, they would have this hogochi. Now, the hogochi is a box made of wood, and that's important. It's made of wood, and inside the wood is going to be various different combustibles that would easily take a strike from the uchitake, and then it's going to catch on fire. And here I have a bunch of char cloth, just because I teach survival classes, and char cloth is easy to use to create, fire when we're out doing, classes and whatnot. So, but in here they would have char cloth, they would have lots of other types of things that would easily take a strike and then combust. Now, the reason the box is going to be made of wood is because they would just simply open it up, you know, put some material over here, strike, and now the fire's going. You could stick it underneath some sort of a house, enemy residence, castle, whatever you're at, burn something down if you wanted to, or you could just simply use this to carry something that has some sort of combustible so that when you do go somewhere, you can easily create fire when you're on the mission and you need to create a campfire or something like that. So the Hogochi is a tinder box that can be used not just to carry tinder so that you can easily create a fire somewhere else, but also as this box ready to just catch on fire and catch something else on fire if needed. Now, depending on the weather, the ninja also would have carried something called a dono-hi. Now, a dono-hi is a body warmer. Again, it's made out of copper. Again, it's got holes. These are slits, you know, all the way through it, right? And inside it is a metal rod, and that metal rod is with rolls and rolls and rolls of cotton, which is already charred cloth, right? Now, what this is just char cloth. Of course, we've used it a ton, so it's supposed to be almost as much as this cylinder itself, right? But you catch the top on fire. Char cloth takes a spark really easy. So you get it going, and then you start blowing on it, and as you blow on it, it'll kind of beat up red. And again, copper is a conductor, so it'll just get really super hot. So you take this cylinder, which again has holes, slits all the way through it, you get this lot of just rolls and rolls and rolls of char cloth wrapped around that metal rod that's in the middle, and you blow on it, and you keep it close to your heart while you're trekking miles and miles and miles in feudal Japan. It's maybe snow, cold weather, but it keeps your body warm. So a body warmer would have definitely been used in cold weather. But there's a little historical look at the ninja and primitive fire making skills that the ninja would have utilized at that time in Japan. Now, what I'm going to be talking about now is how to practice various different types of creating fire. Now, these are some of the drills that I think every student of the BUDO RYU KAI should be practicing, and you should be practicing this particular drill in all seasons of the year. So in spring, you should be practicing this. In the summer, you should be practicing this. In the fall, you should be practicing this. In the winter, you should be practicing this. It's very easy to go out in ideal situations and create a fire. It's not easy to go out in non-ideal situations and create a fire. So it's not just the 4 seasons you should be practicing. You also should be practicing in different types of elements, whether it's, you know, really extreme hot, dry weather, or cold, wet weather, or very humid weather where a lot of the leaves are green and it's got a lot of moisture inside the greenery and the foliage. You should be practicing your fire making skills in all different types of weather and all 4 seasons, because until you do it 1,000 times in every situation possible, you haven't owned it yet, and you got to get out there and practice and do the dirt times so that you can understand how to apply the skills. So today we're going to be looking at a basic drill that you can do to help you understand how to create fire so that you can have a skill in a survival situation. So today what I'm going to be doing is just showing you a basic drill that you guys can practice, and you want to really get used to working with nature. So the idea here is to be able to create some sort of tinder nest or tinder bundle that would then take a spark, and then from that spark hold an ember, take that ember to kindling, and then from the kindling you get small flames, you add small sticks, and then from that you get a bigger flame, and then from that you can add larger fuel to create some sort of fire to keep you warm. So there is a process in this particular drill. Okay, the first thing that you're going to want to do when you're out in nature is you want to find something that kind of resembles a bowl. Now, a lot of people talk about creating a bird's nest, so I'm going to talk about that in a second, but you need to find something that's going to look like a bowl. Like an example, I have this just sitting here. If you can find something like this in nature, this is going to work. The reason you want something that looks like a bowl, if you will, or sides on it, is so that when you start using your ferro rod and you start, you know, using whatever it is that you're going to do to create a spark, you have something that's going to keep the wind from the different directions from blowing out the spark and the ember that you've created. So if you can find something like this to start, this would be absolutely wonderful, but this isn't always available. So that's why a lot of people just jump right to create a bird's nest. Now, I've already went out and grabbed some of the stuff, but what you want is you want something that's really long and that you can bend. And you guys have all seen a bird's nest, but the idea is to continue to make it in a way that looks like the nest. And just take some of that and roll it around. And again, this is preserving that spark so that when you do create the spark, it's more protection from the spark. So see, we've got these walls here, so any type of wind, even the wind that we don't feel, it's still going to affect here, right? So all elements are going to be affecting it. So we've got barriers on this side. We've got all the way around here, and you guys can see, you know, this. So we're gonna put that right in there like that, see? Just like that. And then from there, we're going to then add some of the other stuff for tinder and to put in there just to kind of start this fire. I've already went out and obviously you guys have seen there's so many, what do you call it, leaves, dead leaves everywhere. I've grabbed some pine needles here. We're just gonna dump some pine needles in there like that. So we can, that. All right. And again, anything that's brown is what you're looking for. If it's green, like on the outside of here, this is great for create the nest, because if it's green, it has water in it, and that's gonna make it flexible and pliable. So you need some type of greenery on the outside. You don't need to, but it makes it easier to create the nest if you have some type of green. Although half of this is dead, there's still green in it. But on the inside, you want it as brown as possible, because when it's brown, that means there is no moisture in there and it's dead. And the browner and more, you know, dead and brittle it is, the easier it is to then take a spark. From here, it's really important that you make sure that you push everything the way you need it. And I personally like practicing with ferro rods just because it's something that you can throw in your kit. You can always keep on you, and you can use them hundreds and hundreds of times. Like I said, it's always, you should always have a lighter, and that's the thing that you're going to use the most, right? I mean, it's kind of like in self-defense, we always, you know, we work on punches and kicks and throws and locks and all that kind of stuff, right? That's all well and good, but you're using that when your weapons fail. You know, you guys know I'm a huge advocate for weapons, huge advocate for concealed carry, firearms, edged weapons, that type of thing. So when you can't get to your sidearm, when you can't get to the edged weapon, things like that, to even the playing field a little bit, then you have to deal with hand-to-hand combat, and that's why we're training for hand-to-hand combat, for when your weapons fail, right? So when you don't have this, when this fails you, well, now you get to the next thing, which would be the ferro rod. And of course, we already talked about primitive skills, rubbing sticks. Yeah, I think that's great. You should have the skill set, but your mentality should be based on survival, not, you know, how many different skills or how many different ways that you can create a fire. You know, it's one of those, like, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. It's better to master a skill and have it and know that you can do it in any situation than to be, like, you know, okay with 5 different things. It's important to know that when you put it down, you want to be firm with it, and you don't. I've seen a lot of people kind of go like this, scratch, 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 and it doesn't really matter the technique. Everyone kind of has their own technique. Some people say don't do it this way, don't do it that way. You know, whatever way works for you. I kind of like put it down firm, keeping it at a 90 degree, and then pressing all the way through, and then getting the spark. Some people say don't use the blade of a knife, use the back end of the knife so you don't hurt the edge. Again, I think that's depending on the situation. For me, this knife only creates fire and helps me create a camp. I don't use this from a cutting perspective. So this is the purpose of making fire for me. That's what I use this for, and it's attached with the ferro rod, right? So anyway, everyone has different techniques. I'm just going to show you my way, and then we'll go from there. Go. Got that rolling. Hopefully I got that in the camera so you guys saw all that. Now again, this is a particular skill that I think all the students in the BUDO RYU KAI should be practicing. You guys should be doing this all 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. You guys should be doing this in various different weather conditions. Today it's very kind of muggy. It's getting ready to rain. I was hoping I could get this done before it rained. You know, because my ass did not want to be out here in the rain shooting this video. But anyway, this is the drill that I think you guys should be practicing, and you guys should be practicing creating a bird's nest and fire all 4 seasons and in various different weather environments. So there's today's video on primitive fire making skills of the ninja, as well as how you guys can practice creating fire to enhance your survival skills. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do post 2 to 3 videos every single week. If you guys are interested in authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu, please check out my website at BUDO There you guys can see a list of the 7 traditions, the philosophies and strategies that we teach. If you don't live next to one of our schools, you guys can always join the BUDO RYU KAI online ninjutsu dojo and start training with us that way. So thank you guys very much for your love and support. I deeply appreciate it. Until next time, take care, be safe, and good luck in your journey of Budo. Bye.